It is January 3rd, 2021, and somehow we have made it to Week 17 in the National Football League. And here at the Early Edge, powered by SportsLine, we're here every single day, 7 days a week, 365, and we've got all the information for you on what notoriously is the hardest week of the year to bet in the NFL, because who's going to play their players, who isn't. That's why we are here. And we're going 3 wide today. We brought in the very best for today. Let's bring in our cappers right now. First and foremost, on Friday, this man said Justin Fields was going to throw 5 touchdown passes. He was wrong. He threw 6. Emory Hunt, good morning.
Good morning, sir. It's always good to be here on a Sunday morning doing our thing with the Early Edge.
You can see that man on CBS HQ all morning as well. In the bottom left-hand corner, he is the #1 NFL capper at SportsLine.com, the SportsLine app. And boy, is he ready to fire today. RJ White, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm fired up, as I can tell that you are as well. And then finally, the lower right-hand corner. He's our rock. He's our guy. He's our man. He's the maestro, Larry Hartstein. You had a couple of days off. Welcome back.
Refreshed, ready to go, and I love RJ's focus.
Let's go. Now, I say I'm the leader, but really, Darth is our leader. The clock starts now because we do it in 10 minutes or less. Now, today there's a lot of scenarios. AFC, 5 teams playing for 4. NFC, 3 spots available. But it doesn't mean that those are the only games that have value. Let's start with our best bets of the day. First game on the board. RJ, we're going to start with you. Saints at the Panthers. Panthers getting 6, according to our good friends at William Hill. The total at 46.5. What do you like? Give it to me.
Yeah, so it's hard to suss out motivation when it comes to Week 17. We don't know who's playing for what. I don't have any qualms about Carolina's motivation with Matt Rule entrenched going into the offseason. They're building a winner there. I think the players want to be around. So I do like the Panthers +6. They gave Green Bay trouble and had 2 other close losses prior to that win against Washington. So they're closing the season strong, even if it doesn't look like it on the win-loss leaderboard. And then the Saints offense, now missing Michael Thomas and all their running backs. I don't know who we can trust in this game for them to move the ball against a defense that has been playing much better in the second half. So 6 is too many points for me. I know that the Saints need to win to have a shot at the #1 seed. I just think this is going to be a close game with the Carolina team looking to make a statement going into the offseason.
Yeah, and you know what? They brought up half their practice squad anyway. They're playing on the road. I like that pick, Panthers +6. Okay, next game on our board, Ravens. They need a win to get in. They're giving 14. That's a big number at the Bengals. The total is 44, 1 Eastern on CBS. Emory, what do you got?
This one was easy for me. You look at what you just said. They need a win to get in. That's motivation. Plus, they're playing great on both sides of the ball as they're making a push toward this playoff berth that they need to get today in order to get in, or need the win today to get in. So I'm laying those points with Baltimore. Plus, when you look at the fact that the Bengals have played well the last 2 games, but this is a much better team that they're facing, a team that has a lot riding on this game, that's playing their best ball of the season. So that number is not too large for me to lay the points with the Ravens.
I'm going to look at the total in this matchup because Baltimore is averaging 37 points over the last 4 games, over 233 rushing yards, facing a Bengals defense that gives up almost 5 yards a carry. And on the other side, Brandon Allen, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaged 10 yards per attempt last week. The Bengals have scored 27 and 37 the last 2 weeks. I think 44 is too low. I'm going over.
All right, I like that bet, too. By the way, the SportsLine model, all the simulations, if you're a SportsLine member, you get. It's a graded B for the Ravens covering -14, 58% of the time, to back up what Emory just said. Okay, we love props here at the show. We love props at the Early Edge. You know what, Emory, I'm going to start with you on props of the day. Then you guys can piggyback. What do you like today, Emory?
Well, I like Nick Chubb in that Browns game going over 82.5 total yards. It's the total yards that gets me because they look at what they do with both him and Kareem Hunt. So I think total yards is going to be the way to go, because I do think the Steelers defense will show effort in trying to stop him in the running game, but he'll find a way to rip off a chunk player too, whether that's the run game or the pass game.
My best prop's going to go over to the Broncos game and look at Drew Lock going over 232.5 passing yards. He's topped this total in 7 of his last 9 starts. That Vegas defense averages 267 pass yards allowed per game. And, we've seen that they've been pretty garbage throughout the whole season. I think the plan for the Broncos is going to be to let Lock throw a bunch, leave a good mark heading to the offseason, hope that they have their quarterback of the future. So there's been some questions about whether they could go looking for a quarterback, whether he's really the answer there. He had 47 pass attempts last week. I think we see something similar here, and he gets over pretty easy.
I'm going to stay in that game and look at Jerry Jeudy. the number one guy. I mean, he had 15 targets last week. He only caught 6 of them, but I think they're going to pepper him. They want it to look good that they invested so much in him, and he had 68 yards in the first matchup. And like RJ said, that Raiders defense is horrible, so I'm going over 39.5 receiving yards for Jerry Jeudy.
Boy, it's all about finding the little nuggets and the little values of different games today. And if you're not a SportsLine member and you don't get this value normally, what are you waiting for? If you open up a SportsLine account right now, use the promo code EDGE, then you will get 30 days for free. In addition to all of our cappers, these 3, all of our great cappers, you get all the simulations at SportsLine as well, and they have absolutely been killing it top to bottom. So open an account today, and you can thank me later. Okay, it is time for our last primetime pick of the year. Now, Washington, Philadelphia, it got flexed to Sunday night. We don't know what's going to happen. Quarterback for Washington, who's going to play? They do need to win, but there's a lot of uncertainty here. I'm making you guys make a pick, even though I know that there's a lot of uncertainty here. Emory, let's start with you.
I'm taking the Eagles in the points here. I don't care who's playing quarterback for Washington. That offense just doesn't push the ball vertically down the field, and they're a little bit banged up front and also in the backfield. Antonio Gibson is a guy that is coming off that foot injury. He played okay last weekend, but again, their offense to me just doesn't push the ball vertically down the field enough, so that won't affect that Eagles secondary. They got beat like a drum last week against the Cowboys, so I expect Jalen Hurts and that offense to have some success and win the game.
Well, it's not just the pass offense. I mean, they've been getting beat last 2 weeks. They've given up 500+ yards in each of their last 2 games. Suffered several key injuries a few weeks back. The O-line remains a mess without Mailata now, so they're down to third stringers, at tackle positions. 9 players ruled out. A lot of key guys won't have Sanders, Goddard, Jackson, Cox, some other guys. So if Philadelphia were trying hard, I think they'd be great value here. I question their motivation coming off the loss that keeps them out of the playoffs. I don't love this number. I hope you got it earlier, but I would go Washington -3.5 at this point.
Yeah, I agree with RJ. I got it at -2 and released that on SportsLine early in the week at this number all the way at 4. I'll probably want to stay away, but I'm going to lean Washington.
All right, well, what we're really going to focus on, guys, is the prop bets in this primetime game. That's where I want to put my money tonight. Emory, what do you like?
I like Jalen Hurts going over 1.5 touchdowns. So take that prop and run to the bank with it. I think they'll have some success throwing the football deep down the field. He seemed to have shown the deep passing game against the Cowboys. I look for that to continue this week against Washington.
I like going Logan Thomas anytime touchdown at +175. The Philadelphia defense isn't stopping anyone right now, and teams' primary targets are rolling. For Washington, that means Logan Thomas. He's had 28 targets in his last 2 games combined. Hasn't caught a touchdown since week 13, but I think that changes this week. So I think if you can find a receiving yards prop on him, I go over that too. With McLaurin playing through injury, I don't think he's going to be as big a focus of the offense. So any Logan Thomas props, I take him over, take him to score touchdowns, take him however you want.
I'm going to look at the Eagles side with Dallas Goedert out. I mean, he's their leading receiver for the season. Zach Ertz, 7 targets the last 2 weeks. I think he gets over 2.5 catches tonight. Not a lot of other options in that Eagles receiving core. That's where I'm going with my prop.
All right, there was a lot of picks in less than 10 minutes, so you know what time it is. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. It's time to recap all of our cappers picks here. Now, we're going to start with RJ White. He likes the Panthers +6 at home against the Saints. Saints bringing up half their practice squad to play today. They clearly don't care about seeding. Drew Lock in his prop bet over 232.5 passing yards. And also in the primetime prop, Logan Thomas, anytime touchdown, that's at +175. And any other prop bet that you can find for Logan Thomas. As far as Emory is concerned, he likes the Baltimore Ravens -14 against the Bengals. Nick Chubb over 82.5 total yards. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdown passes. That comes back at +200. So you get some really good plus money there. And the Maestro likes the Ravens-Bengals over 44. Jerry Jeudy over 39.5 receiving yards. And Zach Ertz over 2.5 catches. That comes back at -160. This is always fun. So good luck to everybody. For Emory Hunt, who you can see on CBS HQ. For RJ White, Mr. Stoic himself. For the Maestro, Larry Hartstein, and Jacob the Jeweler, our producer, who puts this entire diamond together. I am the coach. As always, let's take it straight to the pay window. And remember, the Early Edge is the only place every single day that you get the Early Edge. Take care.